On today's program, we're bringing in the new year with a look at our new collections page, tips for searching like a pro with enhanced search, the latest generative AI by Getty Images updates, and answers to your top of mind questions in our live Q&A. All right, folks, the moment you've been waiting for. The Download Premium Access Live starts now. Hello and Happy New Year. Brandon Allen here, Customer Success Manager, welcoming you to Premium Access Live, our quarterly look at the latest and greatest that Getty Images has to offer and how you can take advantage of it. First and foremost, I want to give a huge shout out to all of our Premium Access subscribers. Thank you for being a customer. We truly appreciate your business. Don't forget to drop your questions below. We'll be answering them just a little bit later on in the show. We've got so much great content to share with you all today, so let's jump right into it with what's new.
Hey downloaders, I'm Jenna Markovich from the Integrated Marketing team at Getty Images, and I am very excited to introduce our new collections page. Launched in December, we rebuilt the page into a new destination that brings together our vast library of content under one umbrella. The purpose of the redesign was simple. We wanted to showcase the depth and breadth of Getty Images' library. So with that in mind, our main goal was to make it easier for customers to discover our content collections across both creative and editorial. Now, why don't we take a little tour of this new destination? You can access the new page by clicking Collections in the main navigation on gettyimages.com. Our new collections destination houses 3 subpages, each of which focuses on unique customer needs. Let's take a minute to dive into each one of these. Starting with our media and sports coverage, you'll find global access to images and videos across decades of news, sports, and entertainment, all coming from our partnerships with the BBC Motion Gallery, NBC News Archives, Disney, the NBA, Sports Illustrated, FIFA, World Rugby, and so many more. When you navigate to the Partner Collections page, you'll see authentic content from our partnership with brands like Dove, Glad, AARP, Verizon, and many others. You can use this page to help you tell genuine stories that drive impact with the diverse images and videos in our collections. Looking for inspiration for Black History Month? Make sure to check out the content from our HBCU and Black History and Culture collections. And finally, our Expert Curations page. This one highlights the curated work behind our talented creative team. It showcases our vast contributor network all through the lens of visual GPS research and insights. The content on this page offers a wide range of concepts, all cleared for commercial use, giving you versatility and choice to create something truly incredible. We included additional resources on each subpage to make things easier for you, ensuring you have everything you need to tell stories that drive impact with your own audiences. Just scroll to the bottom of either page to access even more content from our video collections. From here, you can explore our comprehensive search guide, learn more about elevating your brand with custom content, and dive into our global editorial collections repertoire. Of course, if you have any questions along the way, you can reach out to your sales representative. As you have seen, our new collections destination lets you easily dive into a treasure trove of unique visuals in our library. We hope you find it helpful and encourage you to spend some time browsing through these collections. This page will continue to be updated throughout the year, so make sure to check back for fresh content. With that, I'll turn the mic back to Brandon. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks so much, Jenna. So as you can see, Our new collections page is a great place to explore some of the most impactful visual content we have on gettyimages.com. But it's actually not the only way that we're making it easier to find the perfect images and the perfect videos. Here to tell you more about our latest search features is Joel Summerlin.
Hello, I'm Joel Summerlin. I'm a senior product manager for search at Getty Images. And as a product manager, my job is to try to make searching easier and to help support our core mission of helping customers find and select images and videos as smoothly and seamlessly as possible. Something that we hear from a lot of customers is that it can be really difficult to get started searching, to come up with just the right search words to find the thing that you're envisioning, especially for creative images. Let's imagine someone who's working on a campaign about winter travel, and they've got an image in their head to go with some copy. It's a cozy looking cabin, it's in a snowy landscape, it's in the mountains, maybe with lighting that makes it glow a little bit and look inviting. And if they had to describe it in words, it might be something like cozy wooden mountain cabin glowing in a quiet snowy landscape. So they head over to Getty Images to look for a photo. And if they're like most of our customers, they get to the search bar and they type cabin or maybe cabin snow. 80% of our customer searches contain just one or two words. These searches will have plentiful results, but they are very broad searches. You know going in that you're going to have to spend some time browsing. Maybe you'll see something that's in the right ballpark. You could then use that to find similar images, or maybe look at the metadata on that image to get ideas for what other words it might be possible to add. These are all great search strategies. And historically, there's a good reason for searching this way, because as you add more words, like let's say cabin, snow, mountain, glowing, you start to pare down the results really quickly. And you start to wonder, what am I missing? You wonder if you used too many words. Did you use the right words? Experienced image searchers know, because they have learned over time, that using a lot of words, like cozy wooden mountain cabin glowing in a quiet snowy landscape, is just not going to work. It's not going to give you anything. And that's not just our sites. That's the way image search works in general. This search would return 0 results on any image site. The big search engines can sometimes handle queries like this, but of course that shouldn't be your only option. So what is the problem with a search like this? Traditional search results are based on keywords. To put it really simply, if all the words in your query match keywords on an image, or maybe on other types of metadata, then you'll get that image or video. If even one doesn't match something, then you won't get it. Now, it's a little bit fuzzier than that. We can deal with incidental words in your query, like the and in and of, but overall, that is why longer queries retrieve fewer images. Just one missing match for whatever reason, and you're out of luck. So keywords are unforgiving. We and our contributors do work hard to get the right keywords on the images. But with over 200 million creative images and videos in our collection, and many thousands more flowing in every day, and given the subjectivity of what we see in images and cultural or language differences, it's very easy for keywords to be missing or even wrong. And even if we had 100% perfect keywording, it still wouldn't be enough to completely solve this problem, because some words that we use naturally tend not to be used as keywords at all. Take a search like cats making a mess. Now that sounds pretty straightforward, but that particular natural phrasing, making a mess, there's a good chance that that's not going to be present in the metadata for a lot of really relevant images. So it's no wonder that image and video searchers are cautious, and why they start very broadly and very simply. You come to a search and you think, okay, cat, surely cat's a keyword, or cabin, or snow, that's got to be a keyword. But ultimately, you're never entirely sure if you're speaking keywordese correctly, and it's a very unforgiving language. So we have been working on this problem and leveraging AI and machine learning approaches. Now, I want to clarify here, because at this moment in history, when we hear AI in the context of images, we often think of generative AI. that's using AI to create new images. But AI can also be used to find images that already exist, those in our pre-shot library. It can help us find results in a new way, not relying entirely on keywords. So at this point, I would like to bring in Sarah Travis. Sarah is a senior research editor at Getty and a search professional. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Joel.
Sarah, you have been working with this technology on behalf of customers, and I was hoping you could bring up your screen and that we could do some searches on the Getty Images site.
I'd love to. So you should be seeing the Getty Images website on my screen now.
Awesome. I was thinking we could show some examples of this new search feature in action, and I was thinking we could group them into a few different pro tips. And so one tip I would like to start with follows from what I was just saying a minute ago, which is try searching with your own words and don't worry so much about whether you're matching exact keywords. Maybe we could start by looking at that cats making a mess example.
Sure. All right, so I'm typing in cats making a mess, and with an exact keyword match, we get 118 images of cats making a mess. But really, the results aren't really reflecting that. We see one cat that has made a mess, but we see lots of messy humans and messy environments, but not really the cats doing the mess making. But when we turn on the enhanced search feature, we get over 132,000 search results. And these are wonderful shots of different cats in various stages of mess making. We have this one, he's very tired. We have, in the kitchen, we have with people, without people. We get a lot of different research results that will really give us a broad search return.
Let me give you another one to try. Let's get one that has some people in it. Try diverse couples doing different activities. And it's that last part, doing different activities, where it's not your typical keyword language and something that you might not think to try if your strategy is to try and predict what's in the keywords.
Yes. So with diverse couples doing different activities, we get over 25,000 search results with the enhanced search. And this is great because we have different groups of couples. We see diverse couples of older ages, younger ages, doing different activities and connecting together. So a really nice search result. But when we turn the enhanced search feature off, we see only about 2,400 images, which are still good. But as a researcher, I like to see a little bit more so I can pick the best of the best for my clients. So I'm going to turn that feature back on, and we get over our 25,000 search results again.
And now, if you would, try adding some more detail to this same query. So how about diverse couples doing different activities during the winter holiday season?
During the winter holiday season, we now get about 15,000 images. And again, we have our different couples in different winter environments, doing different types of things, looking at the camera in action, urban environments, cuddling and being cozy. So we have a nice variety of results.
And what if you switch over to video?
Great question. So video, we have over 2,400 search results, and these compare nicely with our still image results.
Great. So this longer query is a great segue to the next pro tip that I would like to lay out there, which is try using longer searches. Be detailed. Why don't we try that cozy mountain cabin search again?
Sure. Okay, cozy wooden mountain cabin glowing in a quiet snowy landscape. Over 120,000 search results with the feature turned on. So this is fantastic because I'm going to get a wonderful range of results. We have different times of day, different types of environments that are still within a snowy mountain landscape. We have some images that have copy space. So I'm very happy with these results. But if we turn off the feature, we get 0 results because of the phrasing, because not all of these words are keywords.
Right. That's much too long a search for a traditional keyword matching technology. One thing I want to point out here is that you could even just copy and paste text from a pre-existing document if you have one. Sarah, there was an example we talked about where you took some text from a conceptual brief.
Yes, this phrase, this next phrase I took straight from a new creative brief that we posted to the Getty Images website. Nuanced emotions of modern adolescence infused with styling reminiscent of '90s nostalgia. And as
That
you
sounds
can
like
see,
it came from a brief.
exactly. Yeah, it's high level conceptual phrasing. And we have different types of portraits of single teens, groups of teens interacting. We have this, great nostalgic feeling, different environments, a really wonderful selection. And this shot here is from that particular brief. So I'm very happy to see that.
That's great. What about video for this one?
Let's see what we have for video. So we have over 1,500 results. Again, it's really great because these will pair nicely. We get a nice variety, not too many, but just enough that we can have a good search result.
Yeah, so just to elaborate on that. So for customers who work with conceptual briefs or other types of written guidance like that, this can potentially eliminate that extra step of having to translate that brief into keywords or keywordese. In this case, you just copied and pasted some of the key language right out of the brief. And then, of course, a long phrase like this, especially with those more conversational parts, would certainly not be retrieving, keyword-based match results. And it still doesn't on other image sites.
Yeah, that's right. As an experienced researcher, I have a long list of different keywords that I use to help customers find the right content for their projects. And now I use these natural descriptive phrases. And with the enhanced search feature, I'm finding it very useful to unearth more of the best content on our site. So customers, they'll also be able to do the same and search like a pro themselves so they can find the images and videos that they may not have been able to find using only very limited keywords. Can you tell us more about how this feature works behind the scenes?
Sure. At Getty Images, we are really fortunate to have a long history of customer searches and clicks on our websites. And that gives us a treasure trove of data. Whenever somebody comes to our site and searches, say for Snowy Mountain Cabin or cat or making a mess, and then they click on an image or video, that gives us a piece of information. And then multiply that times millions and millions, make even billions of searches and clicks over time. And you can train a machine learning model, AI. It can take a query as input, and it essentially in the background says something like, people who use queries like this tend to interact with images or videos like these. So it is making a connection between the words you typed and the kind of image those words represent. And that's based on real interactions we've seen on our sites. But it does this without requiring that every one of those words be matched as a keyword. Now, I should mention here that we don't track searches or clicks for individual customers at the individual customer level. All of this training data is generalized. And again, this is not AI generation. No new images are being created. This feature is just finding more results within our normal contributor provided offering.
That's fascinating. And that's good to know about that last bit. So sometimes when working on customer projects, I found that despite my best attempts at using a variety of keywords, the search results aren't quite what I was expecting. And sometimes they just don't quite hit the mark. Are there any limitations with this feature?
Yeah, as we've seen, it's great with longer and more detailed searches, but there is a limit to that. It won't currently do well, for instance, with extremely long searches or entire paragraphs. And then anytime you're dealing with the relationship between words and images, there's always going to be some potential for unexpected results. So this feature really often surfaces great images that you won't find with traditional keyword matching. And that's especially true for those longer, more detailed, more natural queries. And we've also seen great results in our testing. We know that more customers are succeeding more quickly. They're having to think less about how to phrase the perfect query or how to keep reformulating it when it doesn't work. But in the end, it's a model. It's a model that looks for things that are similar to what you typed. And not all of those similar things are always going to be exactly what's wanted. And sometimes you might not want to see similar things at all, which actually brings me to another pro tip. Think of it and use it as a tool. As you've been demonstrating, it's really easy to toggle this off and on, and it was important for us to make it really flexible this way. And for more experienced searchers in particular, it's good to think of it as a tool in your search toolkit, or even like a creative assistant. You can turn it on and give it the freedom to go out and grab some more results for you, which can really liberate your searches from traditional constraints. But then you can also toggle it off when you want to rein things in and use more traditional text matching. I know you have one. What is an example that you've seen where you might want to toggle it off?
That's right. I have a really great example of a recent client project I worked on. So the customer needed to find several specific species of plants to illustrate a botany textbook, and they needed the exact plant. So I needed to make sure that I was finding images of the exact one rather than images of other similar looking plants. Right. So I needed to search for the Alchemilla glaber plant. So let's just put that into our search field. So when I search on this, we get over 138,000 images of plants that may or may not be the Alchemilla glabra, which for this particular example is not going to work because I need the exact plant. So what I did was I turned off the enhanced search feature and we got 2 images, which in this case is perfect because the client needed something that was a little bit more illustrative. And then they also needed the plant in its environment. And when you click into these images, you can check the keywords and you can make sure that is the exact match. And in this case, these are. So I'm just going to turn this back on because this leads to the next example for the same project. The same client, they needed some college-age students working in a lab. So let's just search for that. When I type in college-age botany students working in a lab with the feature, I get 15,000 search results, which is great because I have a nice wide variety of results to select from. We have students in the lab where they're working with glassware. They have a lab that's a little bit more like a classroom. We have some different plants that are being shown. So we have a really nice variety, which is perfect for this example.
Great. Yeah, that is a good example of toggling the feature back off and back on again, even within a single project, where you might sometimes need precision and sometimes want to get a wider representation. Before we wrap things up here, Sarah, do you have any more questions for me?
Yeah, I do. Okay, so over the years, my fellow researchers and I, we've always told customers to use Boolean operators and not or with their keyword searches because that helps them refine and add or refine their search results. So can you tell us a little bit more about how these Boolean terms work with the enhanced search feature?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that, and especially for those experienced searchers out there who employ Boolean operators regularly in their searches. Enhanced search is good at understanding queries, but one thing that it doesn't yet understand is the Boolean negation operator. That's the Boolean not operator. Like, for example, on that last search for the botany students, if you didn't want to see any teachers, you might add non-teacher to the end of that search. And in this case, our site will recognize the presence of that Boolean negation, and it will disable the feature. You can see there you're returning a lot fewer results.
Yeah,
and that's
only 15.
Right. And that's because currently this feature doesn't know what to do with a Boolean not. But it will work with all other Booleans. It works just fine. So that's just a little point to make for those searchers who know about using Boolean not operators.
Great. I have another question for you. What about non-English language searches? And are there any other features we can expect in the near future?
Yeah. So enhanced search works with all 25 of our supported languages worldwide. But we are currently working to improve this feature to make it more targeted to regional needs and preferences. We are a global company, of course, and the needs of our customers in one region, like, say, Japan, are very different from the needs of those in, say, Brazil. We already build our search algorithms to provide these regional differentiations in our keyword-based results. And now we're working to improve that for these enhanced results as well. And then we're also just working on the feature to make it better generally, to surface more relevant content, to have it respond more dynamically and more seamlessly to changing customer search patterns and preferences.
That's fantastic. It's really great to hear how we're making those global improvements, but they're still really targeted to the needs of the different specific regions. So I have one last question for you. It's not really a question, but if you had to sum up what the key benefits are of this feature, what would you say they are?
Yeah. In summary, I would say that customers who are looking for creative content, that's both stills and stills and videos, they can just search more naturally without having to spend so much time trying to think of just the right keywords that are going to match on the metadata. There's less need to keep backtracking or dropping words out of your query or repeatedly trying to reformulate your query. I'd say search is just more forgiving. It can even compensate for typos or other mistakes. And then, of course, we've made the feature easy to turn it on and off, to set it free when you want to see what it can do, and to rein it in when you prefer to use exact keyword matching.
Thanks for that explanation. And for our audience members, we encourage you to go try it out for yourself. Remember, tip 1, don't worry about matching keywords. Tip 2, use longer search strings and longer phrases. And tip 3, use it as a tool, turn it on and off. So if you have any questions about enhanced search, please add them in the Q&A function, and we'll both be back later in the show for the live Q&A.
Thanks, Joel and Sarah. If you have any questions about enhanced search, don't forget to leave them in the Q&A panel below. We'll be answering those questions in just one moment. But first, last year, we launched Generative AI by Getty Images, our text-to-image tool for creating commercially safe original visuals. Joining us now from CES in Las Vegas is Chief Product Officer Grant Forhall with some exciting updates coming to Getty Images in 2024.
Hey everyone, my name is Grant Forhall. I'm the Chief Product Officer at Getty Images, and I'm coming to you from Las Vegas and the Consumer Electronics Show, where this week, in partnership with NVIDIA, we've launched some exciting improvements to Generative AI by Getty Images. First, we've improved the history experience. Up until this point, as you were using the AI tool, we were only saving the visuals that you were generating in that specific visit. Now, as you're using the generative tool, we will be saving in your account all the visuals you generate up to 6 months. And that is live now on gettyimages.com. We've also started to introduce advanced capabilities and features. Inpainting and outpainting is now available in our API. Inpainting allows you to select a portion of a generated visual and then describe in words how you want to change it. Maybe you want to remove something or add something or change the characteristics of part of that visual. Inpainting will allow you to do that. Outpainting allows you to expand the canvas. You take a generated visual and you can make it wider or taller, or set specific dimensions for a social media channel that you intend to use that visual within. It allows you to take a generated visual and create the specific size you're looking for, and it will fill in the visual space. Those pieces of capability are now available in our API, but will be coming soon to gettyimages.com. If you're using our AI generator, thank you, and we hope you're finding value in it. If you have any questions about it, reach out to your rep. Or if you're not yet using Generative AI by Getty Images, then check it out on the website and talk to your rep, and we can get you set up right away.
Thanks, Grant. A lot of exciting things coming up in 2024. All right, folks, get those questions ready. Our live Q&A is coming up right after this.
When the world's best creative visual content meets powerful AI technology, the possibilities are endless. Introducing Generative AI by Getty Images, a dynamic new innovation that pairs our vast creative library with NVIDIA's game-changing AI capabilities. Built to generate impactful, original visual content, that's commercially safe, engineered to scale, and compensates our contributors. Trained exclusively on our creative collections and data, Generative AI by Getty Images lets you confidently conceptualize, explore, and execute unique ideas that connect with consumers and drive impact. Backed by our uncapped indemnification, you can rest assured knowing you have the same legal protection we provide for our pre-shot images and videos. Enhance your productivity. Elevate your projects. Unleash your creativity. With all the impact, none of the risk. Generative AI by Getty Images. Visit gettyimages.com to learn more.
Hello, downloaders. I hope you've enjoyed today's show thus far. And now, for the moment we've all been waiting for, welcome to today's live Q&A session. Joining me today are Joel, Sarah, and Jenna, who are here to answer your Getty Images questions about search, content, or anything else that you may have regarding our products and our solutions. All right, folks, the floor is now open, and I see a few questions coming in already, so let's just jump right into it. Question number 1, can you use filters and enhanced search at the same time? Well, we'll shoot this one over to you, Joel. Take this floor.
Yeah, using filters and search at this enhanced search at the same time. The answer is yes. Sarah, maybe you could bring up your screen again.
Sure.
Yeah. The feature will work with any of those filters. For instance, in the left-hand filter pane, meaning if you have enhanced search enabled, it will still respect any filtering choices that you make over there, like color, mood, number of people, agreement type, locations, etc. I'll also mention you can scope your search in the upper right-hand side there to photos, illustrations, vectors, or you can, as we saw, go to video, and that will all work as expected. Just remember that the feature applies to creative content only, so you won't actually see enhanced results if you're scoped to editorial.
Great question. Well, question number 2, Joel, we'll send this one over to you as well. Is the enhanced search feature in its finalized version?
No, it's still being actively developed. We were talking about this toward the end a little while ago. We were about how we're working to bring more regional specificity to the feature so that it delivers results that are more responsive to the specific needs and preferences of different global regions. We're working on making it more overall, generally dynamic and responsive to customer feedback as it changes in the form of clicks and downloads. And then working on the model itself to make it better generally, so that there are fewer and fewer cases where you might want to toggle it off, and it becomes a more consistently reliable assistant.
Absolutely. Ever changing, we're always just thriving to be better. Thanks, Joel. So next up to bat is Sarah. Question number 3 for you. How does enhanced search work with more conceptualized searches? Take it away.
That's a great question. As we discussed in the previous session, you can use phrases. Let's take this one, for example. I'm going to enter this phrase directly from a brief: expressive images that capture the joy, imagination, and spirit of childhood with styling that feels bright and cheerful. So we just enter that. And as you can see, we have quite a range of imagery that is returned of just wonderful childhood, children playing outside, a lot of great search returns. So we can also take another example that I have ready. Fun, eye-catching, and playfully conceptual portraits that showcase hair, movement, and individuality. So this is something that also came from a brief, so you can just copy a sentence and just paste it right in and search. And again, we see a lot of really beautiful imagery. And we can also switch over to video and see the results. We actually have matching videos for these results as well.
Yeah, and I'll just jump in here to say that conceptual searches is where this feature really shines brightest, I think, is just being able to toss in all those conceptual ideas you're thinking of about what you want this image to convey and to look like, and it can take that and do something with it, unlike a keyword-based search, which often will just give you nothing.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Joel and Sarah. One more for you, Sarah. How do you know if enhanced search is the right tool for what you're looking for?
Oh, that's a great question. I think the best way to find out is just to turn it on and off. So like with this current example that we have the tool turned on. So if you turn it off, you'll see that for this complex phrasing, we don't really have that those search results. But turn it back on is really the way to go. So when you're entering your keyword searches, just toggle it back on and off, change your phrasing, and play around with it and see what comes up.
I love it. All right, Joel, I think we're going to send this one back to you. How are keywords still important?
Oh, are keywords still important? Yes, absolutely. Keywords are not going away. We still care very much about getting accurate and detailed metadata on our assets. This enhanced retrieval system based on machine learning works in concert with more traditional keyword matching retrieval. Even though we can now return a lot more results, there's always going to be some types of searches that are just going to rely on the presence of good keywording metadata. I should also say that that good metadata is also an important factor in training those models in the first place. So yes, keywords, important.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Joel. All righty, next question up. What if I love a video that is not included in my premium access plan? Is there still a way to use it? Very great question. Actually, I'll take this one myself. This right here, I get asked all the time. And for you all, this is a great opportunity for you to reach out to your sales rep, or you can use the contact sales button at the bottom of the page, and someone will reach out to you to help you license whatever that clip is that you need. Great questions coming in thus far. Just a reminder, keep them coming in at the Q&A section below. Question number 8, Joel, you're back up to bat. When performing a search, at what point did the enhanced results kick in?
You can experience the enhanced search results in a couple of different possible ways. For some searches where there just aren't very many keyword-based results at all, you'll typically see the keyword matches first, followed by the enhanced results from our machine learning models. If you remember Sarah's example with that specific plant species, that's one where we showed those keyword matches first. But for other searches, the enhanced results will be more blended in with the keyword matches according to our ranking algorithms, which are always trying to put the best matches first, regardless of how they were retrieved. So you could see a couple of different possible configurations.
Great answer, Joel. Thank you. And one more for you, if you don't mind. Does word order have any effect on results when using natural phrasing?
You said word order?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, it can sometimes make a difference. Remember that the model is looking at the string of text that you type in, and it's saying, what's a good match for this string of text given all the other strings of text that I've ever seen? So putting the words in a different order can sometimes lead to different results, but not in all cases.
Gotcha. Well, folks, that's all the time we have for today. I do understand there's been a few issues as far as the audio doubling up, but just know that the audio will be fine if you find this on our show page for the download. Thank you for submitting your questions, and answers to anything that we didn't get to today will be posted on our show page later on this week. Huge shout out to our amazing panel, Joel, Sarah, and Jenna. Thank you all so much. And again, as a reminder, all past episodes of the download and Premium Access Live will be on our demand page on our dedicated show page on our website. If you have any questions about your Premium Access subscription, contact your Getty Images representative or email us at thedownload@gettyimages.com. Thank you once again for being a Getty Images customer. We truly appreciate your business. I've been your host, Brandon Allen. Happy New Year, and we'll see you next time on The Download. Thanks again.